And he's like, I'm not gonna post it. That was the whole purpose. Like, what was this? What are you talking about? Limerence? Yeah. Well, Sierra and Monica is before like other people they've done before. I do know that Sierra does. That I do know Sierra does. That's not what focus on. Oh, right. I don't know. I'll go back to other Sierra. That's a fact. That's a fact. They go to the bigger outlets and then they do a small little like yeah, Texas Hollywood. Wow. If somebody, just think about this. If somebody, who's gonna call them out, make them pay? Who's gonna say something? Who's just gonna let you do because you're always they need to stop the team of, mountain people behind you? Who's gonna let you just ride with them? They need to be called out. Everybody doesn't ride. No. If you grew up without consistent love and safety and validation from your parents, you've probably already noticed how vulnerable you are to the idea of a great love. Great love that just shows up in your life. Like, there's ordinary people who are actually in your life, and maybe you're single, maybe you have a partner. But there's this other hypothetical relationship in your imagination, and it's just legendary. It's beyond what other people normally experience. It's a perfect union kind of love. And you have a deep sense of what that feels like for you to be loved for who you really are, to be safe, and to be certain that you are in the right place, in the right relationship, in the right life. And chances are you have someone in your mind who feels like they are depression that people with CPTSD can be especially prone to. It can happen to anyone, but with trauma and neglect in childhood, it just seems to get a real foothold sometimes. So sometimes you're going to get limerent feelings for someone you're acquainted with, sometimes it's someone famous or imaginary, and sometimes it's someone who is actually in a relationship with you. But in a limited way that leaves a big empty space for that obsessive reading, hoping, searching obsessively for clues and evidence that they love you that often goes with limerence. So I got a letter yesterday from someone I'll call Lisa, and she writes, "Dear Anna, my first marriage was 32 years ago with my best friend ever, or at least I thought so. Mike and I were so connected in so many ways I didn't expect that I was in love with him until I was. It took 1.5 years for us to recognize that, become a couple, and get married. It was great, but then it wasn't. He was doing drugs, and I had to make him leave," Lisa says. "I was devastated, and it seemed he was too. He was sobbing his brains out, yet didn't want to go to rehab. He didn't want to do the work to keep us together. I came from a nightmare home, with screaming, verbal abuse, physical abuse, mostly my mom, and brother got the physical abuse. What I did was hard-hearted, as everyone seemed to observe. Mike was the best thing that ever happened to me. I was so crushed, confused, and broken that I recall saying to myself, I can't be like my mom and stay in an unhappy situation. So I did what I had to do, and we split." Got my pencil here. I'm circling things I want to come back to when I go through this letter again. But let's just read through them. "I remained in touch with Mike's parents, especially his mom. After our divorce, he was married 2 other times and divorced 2 more times. His mom used to fill me in here and there, but he was not our main topic. We were actual friends with other stuff to discuss. I never saw Mike after the divorce because he moved to another city, and that was that. As soon as the internet became a thing, I searched for him on a regular basis, even though I was with a new boyfriend to whom I eventually got married. It took me 5.5 years to agree to marry him, and when I did, it was because I needed his health insurance so I could return to school. My new husband and I did have fun through traveling, having lots of friends and a lot of socializing. Still, I searched and thought about Mike on a regular basis. I don't feel this was normal, but I could not stop myself," she says. "After about 25 years, Mike's dad died. I asked his mom to please ask him if it was okay if I attended services. She said no need to ask, but I didn't want to feel intrusive. The day came, and at the service, Mike and I saw each other. We hugged and cried for what seemed like an hour. It was very emotional. His latest girlfriend was there, and we were introduced. It was all laughs and a great to see you kind of vibe. He asked if we could be in touch on social media, and I agreed. We never talked after that, but would occasionally like each other's pet photos and little things like that. Very generic. But I was secretly thrilled to know this guy again, my first and biggest love. The funniest, smartest person I've ever known is back, even if it was just by social media."
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Monday. You already know what it is. Your brother's Ho Williams is turned up June 26, 2023. We on fire already. Tonight's topic, it's a heavy one, heavy duty. The relationship matrix. What's the difference between authentic love and limerence? Yeesh. So, she was about to get into a letter that explains this limerent feeling that she had, right, for her ex. Now, for all those who've never heard of this term, first and foremost, the topic comes from Heru Ali. Because whenever we do topics on love, Heru says, oh, that's limerence, right? The state of being infatuated or obsessed with another person, typically experienced involuntary, and categorized by a strong desire for reciprocation of one's feelings, but not primarily for a sexual relationship. Now that's Oxford, right? Now what's interesting about limerence is that limerence deals heavy with a mental kind of fantasy, kind of ideation of this person. You kind of fantasize about who they are and what they are, right? Now, you heard the sister mention in the clip that many people suffer from this who have come from homes that were traumatic. See, a lot of people think that your home has to be dramatic in order to be traumatic. No, you could have a fairly pedestrian home and your parents, whatever toolbox that they come with, could actually traumatize you. And a lot of people are unaware of that. But yes, it is a state of infatuation or obsession with another person that involves an all-consuming passion and intrusive thoughts. But you already know, this is the voice of reason. I don't follow what the psychologists say to the letter. I believe most relationships people are in is limerent. It's a limerent relationship, right? Because if everybody's a work in progress and everybody comes from a household with a limited set of tools, relational tools, communicative tools, right? I believe that whatever those limitations are will manifest themselves in adult relationships. The child models the relational environment of the home in which they were raised. So I believe most people are in the relationship matrix. The matrix is in your head, how you think things are supposed to go, how you think things are supposed to be. And I believe it prevents you from touching the ground of reality, which I call love. How does authentic love differ from limerence in terms of their duration and the place they reside in our being? Now, what's interesting is a lot of people say limerence only lasts maybe three, maybe 6 months. But I believe for many people who don't understand what relationship is actually about, right? I believe limerence is what they're calling love, because limerence is closely associated with attachment. They are attached to an idea, to a concept. In 2025, not 2025, I'm sorry, we're not there yet. In 2015, I wrote a book called The Relationship Dismount. And in the book, I said you should never date your idea or the image you have of your partner. Many people get caught up doing that, and when the image is damaged, the people can't move forward. They can't go on because they had an image of who they thought you were, and then when your humanity showed up, they couldn't take it. They tapped out. And I was talking to the CFO here earlier today, Brenda. I keep saying Brenda, it's Deborah. I was talking to Deborah earlier today, and she said something that was quite profound. You're going to run into stuff in relationships. Some people run into things that are more difficult than others, right? But the sign of a true relationship that is rooted in love is a relationship that is capable of coalescing around whatever infractions may have occurred and working it out. That is the hallmark of a relationship that's real. Relationships where you have people who just get overwhelmed and can't handle the difficulties that humanity presents, boom, they fall apart. What are the key characteristics of an intimate relationship that is based on reality and authenticity? Is your relationship based on the image you have of your partner? Is it based on the concept you have for them? or is it rooted in reality? Is your intimate relationship based on a realistic, reality-based understanding of your partner and the dynamics of the relationship? Or is it rooted in a limerent, idealized concept and projection within your mind? Do you have an image of how it all supposed to be? And it's supposed to work along your timeline. And it's supposed to be like this. And if it's not like this, then I'm in doubt of the whole thing. I posit here tonight, most people don't experience love. I think more people, because of all of us being traumatized by a toxic society, I think more people have access to limerence than they do to unconditional love. Limerence, attachment, ideation. I think they have more of that. Listen, I want everybody to get involved. Are you in the relationship matrix? All you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. That's 1-800-920-1580. Trust me, I got a lot to talk about. Yeah. This is reminding you of the Shrouded Lighthouse. Hey, get to the phone lines. Everybody hit the like button. Y'all know the hotline. 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. Moderators, please pop that number in there. Let's go. Moderators, get in here. Can I get the calls popping? 1-800-920-1580. Can I get the calls popping? 1-800-920-1580. Can I get the calls popping? Can we get the calls popping? Let's go, let's go, let's go. 1-800-920-1580.
You want some tea?
I would.
You
love
would?
some tea.
Okay.
Thank you, Chanel. 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. Call, 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 call. Let's go. One 800-920-1580. Where are the callers?
Live in a minute.
Live in 1 minute. I need callers. Just got both my book orders in the mail. About to dive in. All right, Maurice. All right, Maurice. If you haven't gotten your books yet, please, please, please support. Go to my website, MrZoWhat.com. Go to my website, MrZoWhat.com. Go there right now. Get the Shrouded Lighthouse. That 20% off goes until the 1st, until July 1st. Ladies and gentlemen, my playlist is my co-host. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge Michael Jackson passed away 14 years ago yesterday. June 25th, one of the greatest to ever do it. Definitely got to acknowledge the great Michael Jackson. But tonight's topic is heavy. I believe everybody is in a space of limerence, or more people than not. Do you know why people struggle getting over the human infractions that happen in relationships? They struggle because they're not in relationship with you. They are in relationship with the thought of you, the idea of you. And this is why I am calling this limerence. I'm making it more of a ubiquitous thing as opposed to just something that happens to traumatized children who now suffer PTSD. I'm saying for the most part, most people have limerent feelings about their relationships. Can the Buddhist approach to attachment, the Buddhist philosophy to attachment, can it provide insights into maintaining the intense feelings and behaviors associated with limerence? This isn't to marginalize childhood PTSD. This isn't to say that, limerence doesn't evolve out of those toxic situations. But I would say 99.9. Do you know how much empty space is in an atom? They say 99.999999999, all like 39s, right? The atom is made up of empty space. And I'm saying that same figure is what I'm attributing to most people, right? When it comes to love. Most people do not understand what love is. It's a high level of consciousness. Any type of anxiety or fear or sense of overwhelm can be absorbed and thus transformed when you're actually dealing with love. Doesn't mean it won't be difficult. You'll make it through. You'll find a way because love finds a way. Love is like life. It always finds a way. But relationships that haven't reached a particular consciousness level struggle to get there. And I believe limerence is what they actually have. The idea, the concept of their partner. Lord forbid the idea is destroyed. Oof. Lord forbid. Right? I know it's tough. I know. It's tough. But we got to deal with it. How can you ensure that your relationship is grounded in reality and promote healthy communication and understanding with your partner? Let me explain something about communication. Right? You get some people who think good communication is their partner just listening to them ramble on and on and on without retort. Right? But the reality of it is, good communication is collaborative. You may be saying something and your partner is listening, and up to a point where they go, oh, well, that's not quite what I meant, or that's not quite in alignment. And then you might have people who get angry because you're challenging what they have defined as their truth, right? And if that happens too much, then guess what happens? The image, the idea of who they thought you were, the image, the idea of how they used to see you begins to erode. How can you ensure that your relationship is grounded in reality and promote healthy communication and understanding with your partner? I want to know from you. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. I want to hear your thoughts. Are we truly in love, or are we just attached to our fantasy, concepts, and ideas of each other? Why do people fall in limerent relationships? I believe many people are in the relationship matrix. It's not real. It's a computer program. Only this program comes from society. right? What does that mean, Zoe? Let me ask Andy. Andy, real quick before I get to my caller. If you want to join the conversation, 1-800-920-1580. You had a moment of humanity in your relationship and you cheated on your woman, but you really love your woman and you want to be with your woman and you've apologized profusely and you're trying to rebuild the trust in that relationship. What is the natural response to your authentic and humble apology? What do you think the normal reaction to that would be? No, I'm saying from your partner. But what else? That's if she want to be with you. So what is the normal? There you go. That's part of conflict resolution, right? That has been programmed in this society. That's what it is. Typically, people walk away. They don't work it out. Most people walk away. Why? Because the image of who I thought you were has been shattered. People are out here dating images. They're not dating real people. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when the human shows up in the relationship, that's when you know you got something real or you got something fake. Come on. That's what I'm saying. How about that? How about that? Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason is just getting cooking. You want to get in here? You want to participate? True or false? Most people say they want a real connection with someone special, but in reality, they don't want a real connection because real connections with a significant other requires us to be open, responsible, vulnerable, honest, and fearless. Let me talk to you about vulnerability. See, people feel like when they sharing their innermost thoughts and feelings with you that you're supposed to accept it. It's still a safe space. Yes, you can talk, you can share, but if your perceptions and projections are not in alignment with the truth, I should be able to rebuttal without you feeling rejected, without you feeling like you have not been heard. And many people are like that. Many people are like that, right? I don't agree with that. That doesn't make sense to me. Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Let me give you some context. And have you noticed every time you give context, what happens? Still doesn't change the way they think. They feel like you just talking. You good at talking. So you get what I'm saying? Even when you give context, context does not change their preconceived notions about you. When I come forward, Zoe Williams going to the phone lines. We gonna get deep. I haven't tried it, but I'm about to.
Okay, there's no lemon in here. Wow, lemon never had no goddamn lemon.
Oh, that's good.
I never had one.
That's good.
I know, I make the best tea.
That right
I
there.
make the best tea.
That right there.
Oh, God, here comes the accent.
All I know is Disneyland.
Yes, okay. This is
For my grand. Oh, look at you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris.
Wow.
Why do you have the thing? Okay, anyway.
That's Chanel, y'all. She's in here causing.
I'm gonna babysit my dog.
I don't babysit dogs. I don't really like dogs.
You think my dog in my park?
I saw the dog.
You sure it was at Lemon Park? Tell me that shit was good.
Listen, my son had a dog. And I used to walk his dog. But I'm not like a big fan of dogs. I don't like smells.
He's 5 years old. He's 5 months old.
He's I don't care. He's not like a human baby. So I don't like, you know what I'm saying? I don't like smells. I don't like having to clean up after a dog. Like I don't.
He's a puppy.
That whole process, I'm not down with.
Okay. July 22nd, July 23rd.
Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
22nd. Disneyland.
No, make it Sunday.
23rd.
Nah, fuck it, make it Saturday.
All right, honey. 3 people.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give the tickets to my granddaughter, my daughter.
I gotta meet them there, so I can let them in.
That's fine.
All right, so I'm sending you this confirmation right now.
That's fine.
All right. July 22nd, I'm letting them in.
All right.
And then I'm leaving.
There you go.
All right.
I got the text message.
I gotta
right
be there in the morning.
Sure. I got it.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. I got it. 10 a.m. I got it.
Yes.
You about to come on. You about to come on, Attila. But only Attila is on the line. Can we get more people?
Where's Sean?
Huh?
Where's Sean?
Who?
Sean, white man from Oakland.
Oh, he'll probably be here soon. This is the first time Sean has not been the first person to call in.
Brother?
Where you guys at? Where are you guys? Where are y'all? In Zynga, I'm getting a chocolate Yorkie. I don't care if she smells. Pretty Brown, Mimi, Nazarene X, He Who Thinks. I want y'all to call in. Join in Zynga. Join Attila. Huh? Oh, you gone? Oh, okay. Maurice, call in. Greg Scott, what up? Welcome to the show, man. Come on, y'all. Don't start this week off like last week, man. Come on. We 30 minutes in, no super chats, only one phone call. Come on, y'all. Don't do me like that. Yeah, one phone call. Attila. It really does, True. True, you should call in, bruh. We got you, Unc. No worries. Just gotta do this fur daddy. See? I can't do it with the animals. We're almost back. Here we go. Everybody hit the like button. Let's go. Where my twos and fews? Can everybody drop $2, $3? Can everybody drop $2 or $3? Hit that dollar sign at the bottom of the chat. Hit it, hit it, hit it. Yes, sir.
Today we're doing a video on something I bet a lot of you may not have heard of. I think a lot of Catholics have a lot of emails about this. Something called limerence. And if you understand limerence, you might understand some of your vulnerabilities to a narcissistic relationship. So let's talk about limerence. What is it? It's a strange word. I actually did a lot of research on this and pulled up some original relational texts. It appears it was developed in the 1970s by someone named Dr. Dorothy Pendelop. I didn't know much about it. You have to read about it. So it's not a term I'd ever come up with years of learning how to write this real. It's actually a term that has not been researched a lot, but it is basically an obsessive infatuation with someone and an obsessive desire to have those feelings reciprocated. So wanting the feeling to be reciprocated, to be mirrored back, is a big part of limerence. It's a desire to be loved by that person who are instinctively attached to and in your mind. Apparently, it doesn't always have to be sexual, but it is an obsessive, love-like feeling. Limerence often plays out largely in someone's head, and a person may remain obsessed about someone they've only met a few times and have a really richly developed fantasy world about them in their head. Limerence situations are often unrequited, meaning that it's someone thinking about, the person they're thinking about, but the relationship doesn't happen or really can't happen. Usually there might be a few bits of encouragement thrown in there, or some contact that can keep the limerence experience straight and cool. But by and large, the actual limerence relationship tends to not actually happen in real life. In the era of social media, it seems like limerence is on the rise. We see a carefully edited and curated image of a person's life. They get distracted, they're interested, it's easy to have a coy, maybe clearly DM here and there. And for some people, it can feel as though they're even posting those messages just for you. People can get obsessed by the person whose life they are witnessing on social media. And the platforms allow the tools to communicate with the person, which only adds to the infatuation and the obsession, as if there could be some real possibility. And it could just distract the person who may literally spend their time studying and tracking the social media posts of this person they have this limerence relationship with.
Heavy stuff. Heavy stuff. But I'm going to argue that it's not just sequestered to narcissists. I'm going to argue that most people suffer from limerence. Limerence, attachment. If you just look at the level of fear and ego in the average relationship, how can you then turn around and say your relationship is predicated on real love? So sometimes when you hear people say things like fear and love can't exist in the same place at the same time, they have a hard time wrapping their head around that. And then when their relationship gets to a point where you feel fatigued, you feel out of gas, you start to then understand that, wow, maybe I really didn't love this person at all. Back to Dr. David R. Hawkins. He has a consciousness grid. And I'm just saying, most relationships are low frequency, Truemonger. You're right. Fear is low frequency. It's far from love. Absolutely right. Right? Dr. David R. Hawkins' consciousness grid. At the bottom of his consciousness grid is shame, humiliation, miserable, despising, right? Elimination, shame. That's at 20. His consciousness grid goes all the way up to 1,000. Above shame is guilt, right? At 30, right? Which is blame, evil, vindictive, destruction. Then apathy, which is 50. Despair, hopeless, condemning, abdication. Woo. Then grief at 75, regret, tragic, disdainful, despondency. Then fear at 100, anxiety, frightening, punitive, withdrawal. So many people's relationships can't sustain when the human shows up, when humanity shows up, when the work in progress shows up, when the flaw shows up, when the limitations show up. Why? Because they're vibrating at this level of consciousness, a low level of consciousness. Shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear at 100. Desire at 125. What is desire? Craving, disappointing, denying, enslavement. Then anger at 150. Hate, antagonistic, vengeful, aggression. We're starting to get a little bit higher in consciousness, right? Starting to get a little bit higher in consciousness when you get to pride. 175, scorn, demanding, indifferent, inflation, right? Now we start to balance out. Courage, that's 200. Affirmation, feasible, permitting, empowerment. Most people are not at 200. The good doctor, before he passed away, broke it down. He said, average people across the globe are vibrating at 100. Fear. He said there are 12 people on the planet Earth that are vibrating at 700 or higher, according to his consciousness grid. He said those 12 people counterbalance the other 8 billion people and raises everyone's collective number to 200, 225, right? A lot of people are just, these are high levels of consciousness. By the time you get to love, which is reverence, benign, loving, revelation, by the time you get to love, that's 500 on the scale. Scale only goes to, that's halfway up the scale. Most people are not vibrating at this level. These are levels of consciousness. This is not a set of actions like, oh, the love actions. You can reach this level of consciousness. No, my language is do this. No, this is not that. This is a consciousness level. Above that is joy at 540. Serenity, complete, one, transfiguration. Peace at 600, bliss, perfect, all being, illumination. And then at the very top, enlightenment, 700 to 1000, ineffable, the isness of everything, self, the pure self, the self that the Hindus called God, pure consciousness at 700. Down at the bottom, shame, guilt, apathy, fear, grief, desire, anger, and pride. You tell me that isn't a perfect mix for limerence to be pervasive. When I come forward, I promise this time, I'm going to the phone lines. Buddha was at 1,000. Buddha was at 1,000, Christ at 1,000, Krishna 1,000. On this particular consciousness grid, he had Krishnamurti at 600. Sheesh. That's up there. Shit, 600 is up there. Is this topic making sense? We're at 1398, an hour in. Hey, I want to be honest with y'all. I need $100. Can we get? I was going to say $1,000 because I was just thinking of consciousness 1,000. But can we get to $100 today? We haven't been there in quite some time. We haven't been there in quite some time. Can we get to $100? What do we have to do? What do we have to do to get us to $100 today? Because $13.98 just ain't gonna cut it. And I'm thankful for everybody that was able to give their twos and fews, but we gotta do it. We're trying to get to $100. Can we do that? Oh, by the way, I had a coaching session over the weekend with Miss JB. Y'all know Miss JB in the chat? I didn't know Miss JB was a member of the Cigar Lounge. I know her by an entirely different name. But she hit me up on my DM and was like, yo, can I come to the lounge and have my coaching session? I was like, yeah, come through. She came through. I said, I didn't know you was Miss JB. She was like, yeah, you know me as this, but that's Miss JB. I did not know that. Tommy Hooks, thanks for the game. On the work grind, just showing love. Tommy Hooks, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, bro. It was good. Thank you, Suge Mac. Turn this off. This ain't real. This ain't real. This is a beautiful record, but this ain't real. This is just not real. We live in a limerence society. People have ideas about who you're supposed to be. They're dating concepts. They're dating ideas. They're dating, this imagination, this fantasy of who they think you are. And a lot of people they're not being honest. They're not being honest. Ah, man, here we go. All right, let's get these callers in here. Attila, Houston, Texas, get in here. What's happening?
How are you?
I'm good.
How are you? All right, so I'm going to say some things first. Listen, as somebody who's dealt with PTSD, I would argue that for us, like, limerence is like a protective mechanism, right? But like you said, I think society definitely plays a part in it too. Like, to give you an example, especially as like a young girl, right? When you're a teenager, it's encouraged for you to be boy crazy or to be kind of like have your head in the clouds kind of thing. And for me, that's just another manufactured form of limerence, so like for like a young girl. And some people just don't go out of that phase. But again, it's safe because you don't necessarily have to be vulnerable. You don't have to really expose, who you are and what you're really dealing with, those darker sides. And on top of that, it also allows you to maintain a certain level of control. Because if you're not exposing yourself and they're not exposing themselves, maybe they're also a limerence addict, then it's safe until it's not safe.
Talk to me about when it's not safe. When is it not safe?
When the shit hits the fan.
Ooh.
Yes. Basically, I would say that's probably when you start to, I don't want to say like necessarily make demands, but maybe there's some real world things that come up, right? Like, so bills or just,
wait.
Again, the real
Wait. When who makes demands? The other partner, the limerent partner, or so if the partner that isn't affected by limerence is now making demands, the limerent partner does what?
I would say like you would start to see it essentially because it would throw your whole concept off, right? But to me, I think there's a misconception out there that it's going to be a limerent partner and a non-limerent. To me, I think a lot of times both. partners are probably limerent to
I
some
agree.
extent.
I agree.
Maybe in certain areas, like I said, for women, it's about, getting to the marriage or the ring or whatever the case may be. And for men, it might be, something else. But I think both partners can experience limerences at different points. And if you're not on the same page, so let's say at one point, someone's more limerent than the other, anytime there's a real world problem that comes up or just an obstacle, it's going to throw the dream off, essentially.
Ooh, it's gonna throw the dream off. That's so. Ugh. Keep going. Ugh, it's gonna throw the dream off. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
So I mean, I can only speak like in my experience, but I think really for me, like in the last few years, I've tried to make the conscious effort to not be limerent. And I mean, you still have your desires or certain ways you might want a relationship to head, but in terms of just kind of being, on cloud nine type of thing, I try my hardest not to do that. Simply because I think that you just don't really get an authentic view of who you're dealing with. And if you're like me, like I'm the type of person that, when I was limerent, if things were not necessarily going the way that I had imagined, I would just run. And so the problem with that is, you might be with somebody who can actually help you face certain things or kind of go through things with you, but you would never know because you're constantly running, searching for the next partner that's going to meet the expectations that your limerence is demanding from you.
Mm, mm. This is heavy. I didn't expect it to be this heavy. So, are you telling me that number one, you've suffered from limerence?
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you get over the addiction?
Mm,
Or you
I
don't?
mean, for me, I mean, for me, I don't know if you ever really, like, quote unquote, get over it, so to speak. So I can definitely spot when I'm doing it. Like, I know when I'm kind of going into waters that maybe are a little bit too treacherous. Like, I'm like, I'm kind of going into that delulu state. Let me come back. Let me come back to reality. But also, I mean, if you have people around you, like, once you are able to have good, solid people around you, non-narcissistic people around you, people that are going to aid towards your betterment, then they can kind of point out things to you as well and kind of say, that doesn't really make sense. But you have to get to a place of even being willing to hear that. Like, the people
Mm,
who struggle with limerence, they're not going to be willing to hear a lot of times that what it is they're trying to achieve is, I don't want to say unachievable, but it's just not necessarily fathomable in they haven't even actually tried to see, like, does this actually work for the situationship that I'm in? Like,
mm.
does that even make sense in this context? So you need people that can kind of bring you back to reality.
So, do limerent people try to hold on to relationships while at the same time not really committing to the relationship?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's that. I mean, to me, that's kind of where that whole situationship thing comes from. Because to me, a situationship is nothing more than a relationship that's on its deathbed, right? Like,
Talk to me.
the
Go
relationship needs to
deeper.
be over.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the relationship needs to be over, but you're refusing to acknowledge it. And again, if it's a situation where both parties feel limerent, it's even worse because they're not going to be talking and communicating with each other to essentially acknowledge that the relationship is over. So a situationship is more comfortable because you don't have as many demands, or that person can kind of be like, this wasn't in my vision.
She's cooking.
That did not come to me. And so, like, that's a tricky situation. I would say if you're in a situationship, you are probably limerent.
Oof.
You're most likely somebody who is limerent. Either
Oof.
you or both of y'all are probably struggling with that because there's no reason why you would essentially recycle an old dead relationship.
What kind of fantasies do limerent people concoct in their mind? Because that's very heavy. I remember it in the relationship dismount. I said, never date your idea. And it
Mm-hmm.
seems like limerence is that, where people are actually dating a concept and not the person. Talk to me about the fantasies that are constructed within one's mind. Who is limerent?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I would say, I mean, fantasies, I mean, maybe more so around what that person may be like towards you. And again, talking about things kind of going your way or seeing things progress in a way that is suitable in your mind. To me, what that would look like is just if you have a certain plan or idea for your life and that person fits that mold, right? So maybe they're your partner within this business that you want to develop, or they're, whatever that looks like for you. But I mean, in reality, that person might have no, they might not have any desire to even do that.
Wow.
You've already kind of like in your mind like placed them in this role. And again, like I said, I know I'm definitely guilty of that. Like I still struggle with essentially like it's weird. It's almost like you have to kind of ask. I don't want to say permission, so to speak, but you're informing the person that this is kind of like my idea of what I want my life to be like. Like, does that actually fit
Okay,
you? So,
wait. Hold on. You are cooking right now, and I'm telling you, Emerald Lagasse is jealous. What I want you to do is stay tight, stay close to me when we come forward. We're going back to Houston, Texas, because Attila really knows what she's talking about.
We've got a life of love that won't ever
Wow. Attila, god dang. Oh, and everybody who hit the super chat, who followed my call to action, I truly appreciate you guys. We are at $90.95. So we are less than $10 away from the goal I asked us to reach, which was $100. So can we get that last little push over the hump? We're at $90.95. I want to shout out each and every one of y'all. Let me see. Sean Marie, thank you. I think the social media contributes. I think that social media contributes to limerence as well. It could create a false image of what you expect in a tangible relationship. Wow.
So I don't know if you touched it and you weren't paying attention, but you got to blame social media for limerence too.
We touched it a little bit, but I'll go deeper.
Okay.
True Monger hit us with a 10-piece. Q Mason hit us with a $5.99 and a $9.99. Q Mason, thank you. Suge Mac 510 hit us with a $1.99. Tommy Hooks, y'all saw that. He hit us with a 40 watt. Reggie White hit us with $9.99. I expect to hear from Reggie tonight. Ghetto Gourmet slapped us with a 2-piece. Nzinga said he go $1.99 on mines. I appreciate everybody for showing up. We are just $9 away. We are $9 away. Can I get y'all to jump in? Here we go. I'm dating a fat person.
The child wasn't here, and you still had to play child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I would like to kill this he told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad touch routine.
How does he maintain his homosexuality?
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses. Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
So Williams, a voice of reason.
Hey guys, Heidi Plebe here. Today I'm talking about a topic that I have meant to make a video about for at least a year now and have somehow never gotten around to it because it's such a big topic when it comes to attachment healing, and it's also something that a lot of us don't have a name for, and for most of us this might be the first time you're hearing this term. I heard it for the first time a year ago and was like, I don't understand how I've never come across this term before. It is so relevant. And what that term is limerence. So I'm going to start by reading you a definition of limerence off the internet, and then I'm going to explain how I define it and what my kind of operational definition of limerence is going to be within this specific video. So the internet defines limerence as a state of mind which results from romantic or non-romantic feelings for another person and typically includes obsessive thoughts and fantasies as well as a desire to form or maintain a relationship with the object of love and to have one's feelings reciprocated. So the first time that you read this definition you might think, so that is a crush. And in many ways, it is actually identical to a crush. I think that many definitions of the word crush could be completely and totally interchanged with the definition of the word limerence. The main difference there would be that limerence has a bit of an obsessive quality to it, right? But the way that I'm going to define limerence specifically is any relationship that you have where you have those limerent feelings, so those feelings of wanting someone's time, attention, of having, mostly we're going to talk about sexual and romantic feelings for someone in this video, but and this is where I define limerence versus a real desire to form a relationship with someone. Limerence is about when you are more attached to the idea of someone that you have inside of your head than you are to the actual person. So it's what happens when you choose to prioritize maintaining a fantasy relationship with someone in your head over the real relationship that you have with them in real life, which means you are willing to get into fights with them about things that they did that are not what you wanted them to do or what the version that you have of them in your head would have done. It means that you are unwilling to learn new things about them and integrate those things into your idea of who they are because those things might not go along with who you want them to be. It's basically any time in which our idea of someone and what we want to believe about them and the way we want them to make us feel based on that belief overrides our true, genuine willingness to have a connection with that person. And I think that for most people who are insecurely attached, specifically those who are on the anxious spectrum, so either anxious or fearful avoidant types, it's possible that most of the romantic and sexual feelings you've had in your entire life have been limerence, and that you may never have had a true, genuine connection with someone, or you may have only had that true, genuine connection in moments, and the rest of the time there's this constant push and pull between how you want someone to be inside of your own mind and how they actually are, and you might have always heavily prioritized maintaining your image of who you want this person to be in your head. And we're going to talk about why we do that, as well as how we can stop it, because we cannot form real connections with people when we have limerence around them. All we're doing when we have limerence around someone is kind of emotionally masturbating to them, right? We're just using this idea that we have of them to make ourselves feel good about ourselves and to confirm something we want to believe is true about ourselves, like if this person loves me, then I'm worthy, and we are doing that at the expense of actually getting to know them. So this is not real connection, this is not real love, this is not anything that gives us real lasting power in a relationship. So it is my fairly firm opinion that love and connection cannot happen until limerence is at least operating at an almost non-existent level. Real connection can only happen with people in real time, okay? But the first step of getting over limerence is recognizing when we're doing it. And in order to recognize when we're doing it, we have to learn to recognize kind of the danger cues that happen inside of our own minds and inside of our own bodies that alert us to the fact that what we're feeling is limerence, not true connection. So let's talk about some of the things that we might mistake limerence for. One of the biggest things I think we mistake limerence for is sexual attraction. So we might think, oh, I'm just so attracted to this person, I can't get them off of my mind, I think about them wanting me, I think about us having sex, I think about us being together in a sexual way, and we might truly think that what we're feeling is sexual desire. And I think that a lot of us, of any attachment style, but particularly of insecure attachment styles, are actually not that grounded when it comes to recognizing what sexual attraction actually feels like in our bodies.
Okay? So when we feel limerence, it's often a very mental thing. So we're fantasizing about someone, we're thinking about them, we're almost like obsessively watching a movie in our heads about what we want that person to do and say and feel towards us. Versus sexual attraction is a very imminent feeling. It's very grounded in the body, at least for myself, and I would imagine for other people as well. And something that I think we don't talk a lot about because so few people actually talk about sex in an environment.
Oh, she cooking. Lord have mercy, she cooking. Andy, what's her name? What's her name? Oh, Lord. Hey, the voice of reason back in the building. The big piece that she uncovered. And I said it before, many people are dating and infatuated and attached to a concept.
Heidi Pride.
Heidi Pride. They're dating a concept, Andy. Andy was trying to talk while the video was on. Andy, we'll go ahead, Andy.
As I was listening to her talk, it just had me thinking, like, are we limerent to ourselves individually then, if that's the case?
I'm saying most people, because I believe relationship is a mirror. So I think that there might be some validity to that statement. But what I'm trying to point out, see, because they want to label it, and I'm gonna bring Attila back in a quick second. I'm not trying to marginalize, folk with, childhood PTSD. What I'm trying to say is, in this toxic relational landscape, where most people are vibrating on the low level of consciousness, shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride. All I'm saying is, I believe that what most people have is limerence. Because limerence is associated with attachment. It's associated with an ideological construct, who I think you should be. Do you know how many relationships have been derailed when the flawed human being in one or both of the partners showed up? That flawed human being did what? It destroyed the image, the idea. 1-800-920-1580. Attila, Houston, Texas. Get in here.
Oh, wow. Man, that's all right. I don't know what more I can say on this topic, to be quite honest with you. Except for that, as far as like avoiding limerence, I mean, it's like you were saying in the video, right? The only thing you can do really is just kind of learn how to catch yourself when you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But then, and what's worse is like we like to try and tie limerence to like lofty ideas, right? So not to put that on the spot, but in the comments he was speaking on tying it to ambition, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's still limerence nonetheless, right? Because the way that you envision your ambition or how you envision certain things for your life or your family may not be exactly the same as your partner. So you're still essentially placing them in this box or in this role in a way that you want them to play or act or speak to certain things within you or within this so-called mission, so to speak. And so to me, it's the same thing. It's just like a less dirty version. In a way, I guess you could say it's a more honorable version. But still, I mean, anytime you've got somebody in your mind playing a role, being a certain thing, and you haven't inquired about who they actually are, and what do they even want for themselves? What is their vision for themselves? If those questions have not been answered or asked, like, come on now.
But even if they're asked, if they present an oppositional position to the image the limerent person has, we've got we've got fireworks, right? We've got conflict, right?
No. Yeah, it's gonna be fireworks city. It's gonna be a problem.
There it
Absolutely.
is.
And it's wild because you won't even know that that's what's happening. Like I've literally just came upon this in the last few months, and I kept racking my brain, like, what is going on? Why is there so many things popping up? This confusion and all kind of work, the craziness, right? In the Bible, they might call it Leviathan, right? Like,
Whoa.
it's the same thing. I mean, it is this confusion and contortion of something. I mean, you could literally explain something in a way that is so clear, but if you're dealing with a party that has limerence, they're going to literally flip exactly what you say. You're like, I didn't even say that. But it's because they have this vision of you, how you operate, and if you are to essentially cross a boundary or essentially not operate in the way that they would have you or want you to operate, it's gonna be on fire at that point.
There it is. Attila from Houston, Texas. You came in with the heat fire. We appreciate it. Hey, look, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Third Eye says the worst thing you can be in a relationship is human. I disagree. I think the worst thing you can be, well, let me say it this way. That is true if your relationship is based on a fantasy, if your relationship is based on the Matrix, if your relationship is a mental construct, then humanity has no place there, because humanity by nature is flawed. So you heard me talk about wabi sabi a couple of weeks ago. You heard me talk about kintsukuroi. You heard me talk about all these concepts to use metaphorically to put yourself back together, to understand that you can become more beautiful after being broken. But most people do not appreciate a broken human. Ugh. I didn't want to say that, but that's the truth. Most people do not appreciate a broken human. When I come forward, the phone lines are absolutely bonkers. We talking to everybody.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings will disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason.
Over, but many Angelique. Did you know eviction protection still exists for unpaid COVID-19 rental debt that was due before March 31st, 2023? And that you have 5 days to respond to an eviction notice, also known as an unlawful detainer. Learn more about your rental rights at housing.lacity.org.
That's it?
Either way, bro.
Y'all say,
Pay the cost to be the boss.
y'all say hi to Chanel.
Move your big head, thank you.
All right. All right, Malik. Good to see you, bro. Hey, are you at the Drew?
Yeah.
Are you playing?
Yeah. We just played this past Saturday. We play this Saturday at 12.
Who y'all play?
I gotta check the schedule. I don't know who we play.
All right.
I gotta double check.
I'm gonna come through.
All right, my brother. I appreciate it.
All right, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Bet. Oh, we losing callers. Truemonger. We lost True. Get back in here, True. Pretty brown Mimi. Look. The phone lines were jam-packed when you were calling. So if you want to get on, you might as well call now. Truemonger, call back in. Andy is sitting right there. He could take your call.
Live in a minute.
With True, right. Attila, you killed tonight. Fire. Fire. Fire, 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 Attila. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only voice of reason and his playlist, which by the way is my co-host. We're always on fire. Weekly we come with the heat. It's a great record, man. It's a whole vibe, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, don't be with nobody that doesn't love the humanity in you. I know you don't want to hear it that way, but that's what it is. Don't be with anybody that does not accept and love the humanity in you. You hear me on here talking about Krishnamurti, bringing Krishnamurti up all the time. If you're in pursuit of pleasure, you're inevitably in pursuit of pain. Right? We hurt each other, y'all. We hurt each other. And instead of taking the hurt that came into our life from a person that loves us, and I'm not talking about abuse, right? I'm talking about being flawed, being a human, making mistakes, right? Instead of taking that hurt and transmuting it, transforming it, right, into a healing process that actually makes you more beautiful after having been broken, we use that hurt to weaponize, our frustrations against our partners. I'm telling you, most people are in a limerent relationship. The Matrix movie philosophy and limerence in relationship may seem like very, completely different and unrelated topics. But upon closer examination, they share several similarities. The Matrix is a movie based in science fiction that explores the concept of reality and how it can be manipulated. Philosophy, on the other hand, is the study of fundamental questions about existence, knowledge, values, reason, mind, and language. Limerence, on the other hand, is a state of mind that is often associated with romantic relationships. Right? We will explore some of the similarities here. One of the most significant similarities between the Matrix movie philosophy and limerence in relationship is the concept of perception. In the Matrix, the characters are living in a simulated reality. Oh, by the way, most theoretical physicists today believe we live in a simulation. But okay, it's not related because they're not talking about it on BET. It's not on BET Plus yet, so it's not real. But most scientists today, Neil deGrasse Tyson, whoever, right? Brian Greene. Oh, fine. This isn't real. Okay, cool. Right? You crazy for bringing this up, Zoe. Right? In the Matrix, the characters are living in a simulated reality that is created by machines. Right? They believe that this reality is real, but in reality, it is just an illusion. Similarly, in philosophy, the concept of perception is often discussed in terms of how we perceive the world around us. Our perception of reality is often shaped by our experiences, beliefs, and biases. In limerence, perception is also a crucial factor. When we are in a state of limerence, we often perceive our partner as perfect and we idealize them. And if you don't think they're perfect, how come you can't live with their flaws? This is why forgiveness is such a big deal, man. Why you got unforgiveness residue? I would say 99.9% of everybody who's been hurt by somebody they love will say, oh, I forgave them. But in reality, the remnants, the residue of unforgiveness is still there. You know why? Because the image, the idea was fractured. That's what limerence is. It's the concept. Right? I know. In limerence, perception is also a crucial factor. When we are in a state of limerence, We often perceive our partner as perfect and we idealize them, right? This perception can be so strong that we may overlook their flaws and shortcomings. Well, in the early part of the relationships, they call that enhancement, the enhancement bias. And many times the enhancement, but some people say the enhancement bias lasts the honeymoon period, which is 18 months, and then that goes away, right? But I believe most people are in a matrix-like limerent state of consciousness. They are not connected to the ground of reality, which is synonymous with love. I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it. People say they love you out their mouth all day in America, but guess what? It's not love. It's not love. Love is the highest level of consciousness. It's not a verb. It's not a set of actions. It's not an agreement. It's not any of that. Another similarity between the Matrix philosophy and limerence is the concept of control. In the Matrix, the machines have complete control over the simulated reality and the characters are living in. They can manipulate the environment and the characters' experiences. In philosophy, the concept of control is often discussed in terms of free will. Do we have control over our actions, or are they premeditated? In limerence, control is also a significant factor. When we are in a state of limerence, we often feel like we have no control over our feelings. We may feel like we're being controlled by our emotions and that we cannot help the way we feel. I don't know who I'm preaching to tonight, but damn you if you don't get the message. Reggie from Austin, Texas, get in here.
What's up, though? Man, I just want to extrapolate the point on control just a little bit further. I think we have a lot of people that are trying to deal with hurt and trying to deal with avoiding pain because they've been scarred so much. And a lot of times it's not just the emotional scar. It's the ego that this person made a fool of me and hurt me in this relationship. So I'm going to lean on my senses and I'm going to lean on my imagination and I'm going to make this person be what I want them to be, and I'm going to use my eyes to see them. I'm going to use my ears to hear everything they're saying. I'm going to use all my senses and lean on my senses. But I think that's going through the world backwards. The reality is we're spirits having a human experience, not the other way around. And if you lean on your senses, then you really devoid of the spirit. And if you're devoid of the spirit, then you kind of set yourself up for the same thing. So you're trying to avoid the pain, but you're doing everything to bring the pain to yourself. So you can't operate in fear. You have to operate with a degree of faith. You have to operate with a degree of just letting everything go and allowing everything to be what it is. If you learn something in every outcome, then you can't lose. And I think that's really the mindset that helps you put yourself in a position to be the best you could possibly be. Other than that, it's like you're trying to avoid pain, and you're not playing to win, you're playing not to lose. It's a big difference. So I just hope we can, call a thing what it is. I mean, when you identify an enemy, then you take away its power. And a lot of times, and I'm just going from my own experience, I don't want to call a thing what it is, because if I do that, then how could I be so weak as to go through life, being so cautious and being so afraid? But just call it what it is, man. Call it what it is, and you take away the power. So say that you don't want to be hurt, and you're leaning on your emotions. You're leaning on your feelings because you're trying to protect your feelings. Nah.
Wow.
Nah.
Wow.
That's what you have to do. I think that's one step. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't have hope. I'm not saying that at all. I mean, I think our dreams need detail.
Wait,
So,
Reggie, you cooking too much right now. Just I gotta carry you forward, brother, because I need more of this. So don't forget where you are. All right?
okay.
Don't forget where you are, because soon as we come forward, we going back to Austin, Texas to get the rest of this meal. All right? What y'all think about tonight's topic? What y'all think about tonight's topic? Y'all let me know. Is this some nonsensical, philosophical mumbo jumbo? Or is this giving you a better contextual view of how perception in relationship is our motherfucking pimp? Faulty perceptions. You're not loved if they don't love the humanity in you. The humanity in you is where the risk is. It's where the danger is. I said this in the show last weekend. I don't know. Hey, Andy! I think we're good.
Are you a small or micro business owner looking for ways to succeed after the pandemic?
Is that better?
LA County has got you covered. Gain access to
Is that better?
opportunity grants and technical assistance to help your business thrive. Whether you need
Yo, Tavares!
or capital investment programs, they're here to help. Find out if you qualify at recovery.lacounty.gov/programs. That's recovery.lacounty.gov/programs. LA County and you, moving forward together.
Hopefully that's better. There you go. I'm going to turn it down now. I want to say this too. This show is a big hit. And I want to thank everybody for being here on a daily basis on the YouTube channel. But in the larger scale, this is a big hit. You know, I see a lot of high-powered people in the cigar lounge. And when I tell you, they be like, yo, man, we all tapped into the voice of reason. So I'm going to tell you right now, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for being here because I really believe we are a part of something great. This is something great. This is, and I think the city, Los Angeles as a city, you know, it's Hollywood, it's all kind of shit, but as a city, it's still trying to wrap its head around, because typically in Hollywood and radio out here, you done heard the voice before. You've heard it before. And I think on terrestrial radio, a lot of people are like, this motherfucker came from out of nowhere. Where did he come from? You know, because I was Sirius XM, I was, you know, YouTube and all of that. But this is terrestrial radio. And I think what's happening is it has taken a lot of people in this city aback. You know, I was talking to my friend of mine the other day in the cigar lounge. He was like, man, you don't understand how hot that shit is. And I was like, oh. Because I don't listen to talk radio. So it's interesting. I appreciate every one of y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, the voice of reason back in the building. That's Ari Lennox. I appreciate everybody for jumping in here tonight. I've been trying to push the envelope with tonight's topic because I really believe a lot of us are spiritually immature, and I want us to grow up. I think if we grow up, our relationships will be better. I didn't say perfect, I said better. Right? I didn't say perfect, I said better. Can you imagine someone being in love with the humanity in you? The humanity in you is the reality in you. Right? Can you imagine someone being in unconditional love with the humanity in you? That's what I've been searching for my whole damn life. And I find people love the intellect. They might love the aesthetic. You know, they might love the hype. But when it comes to people loving the humanity in me, I haven't found it yet. It's not real. People love the idea. They love the concept of me. They don't love the reality. What about you? 1-800-920-1580. Reggie, Austin, Texas. Get back in here and finish your thought.
I was saying that you need a degree of hope. But if your degree of hope involves others trying to fit into your preconceived cookie-cutter idea of what a man or woman should be, then you're never, ever going to be happy. I wonder why we hold on to our childish beliefs so tightly. And I think we hold on to them so tightly because that's all we have. You're trying to preserve you. But love means giving up yourself, giving up your ego, giving up your preconceived thought, so that you get something better in return for what you lost. And really, you never lose anything.
Right.
You only gain. But you gain perspective when you lose your preconceived notion. So allow yourself to be lost, man. And yeah, I guarantee you'll find something better. That's real.
We love it, brother. We love it. Thank you for the call. He said a mouthful. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. He said a mouthful. Love will destroy your ego. Love is the natural enemy of ego. Ego, fear, it can't exist where there is love. And we live in such a world right now that love is like the white buffalo. It's a myth, almost. You know, it's tough. Let's get these callers in here. Who've been on the longest? Nazarene X, Atlanta, Georgia. Please jump in here and share your thoughts with your brother.
No question. Much love to you. Doing all right, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm in here cooking.
Yeah, no question. I'm with you, man. Just tapping in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even build up, our brother Reggie just on that last point. And like these African proverbs and gems, like one goes to get lost is to learn the way. So that whole aspect of surrender is heavy, man. For me, I just feel like even our concept of rest in peace, like sometimes we'll give that the farewell, you know what I'm saying, that connotation that's always rest in peace when somebody dies. But again, like internally, when you actually just shed all of these aloof type fantasies or whatnot, and you literally rest in peace, you are an extension of that love that naturally dismantles all confusion, all of the smoke and mirrors within itself. So it's, again, I think just staying on that as your pivot, it can help you dismantle things that might be unresolved in yourself, as long as you continue to just dial into yourself, and even with communicating with others or whatnot. Like, I think there's a slight difference between having like a companion and an ally. Right, so sometimes when your larger mission is to just continuously move in love, and you don't lose sight of that, and you embrace the humanity in others, that is that higher level of consciousness, and you being that, I guess, that presence on earth for others to interact with, that presence within yourself for you to feed off of when you're willing to embrace the whole of life. You can even use your fantasies as your superpower because you're anchored in a higher reality that's even beyond our words. Sometimes our words can trip us up too.
Sure, yeah, I agree with that, 100%. Nazarene X, Atlanta, Georgia, you're always cooking. We appreciate the insight. Yep. If you want to bring your city in the building, we're all over the country. LA, where you at, LA? Show up. LA be fumbling the bag. Get in here. 1-800-920-1580. Let's get to Dallas, Texas. Truemonger, talk to me.
Yes, sir.
So your thoughts, brother?
Oh, man, I think we've all dealt with a level of limerence in our lives, but I'm not sure everybody falls a victim to it. So some things stick with you just because they're a part of you as you go forward in life. Certain memories, certain ways people interacted with you, some of that stuff is just going to stick with you. You're never really going to forget any of that, but you don't have to live in it, whether it was good, bad, and different. You don't have to stay there.
Right.
So ideally, you should go through those experiences to become better as you go forward. But a lot of times people don't do that. They get stuck in that level where they're at, and they may be stuck in there so long that they learn to like it.
It becomes
Stockholm syndrome for it.
Becomes their norm, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So they, instead of learning from those experiences, they tend to seek out those that still vibrating on a similar level because they feel comfortable with it. But to me, you shouldn't feel comfortable with that kind of stuff. You should be willing to be uncomfortable to grow from it and become a better person. But that's not always the case. Some people refuse to learn their lessons from those experiences. Like I said, some people tend to like it. And they just want to stay there because they don't want to do the work. They don't want to do the work to get better. They'd rather just stay where they at because they feel like if I just stay here, I don't got to worry about nothing. I can just stay right here and do what I want to do at this frequency and not worry about anything else. But that's not good for that's not good for life, period.
Right.
If you're not challenging yourself to do better, what are you doing? You're wasting life, in my opinion.
Right.
Because you're just going around existing.
Yeah, that makes sense, brother. I appreciate it. That was heavy. Truemonger, Dallas, Texas, always coming in, always cooking. We appreciate the insight. Listen, when we come forward, we're going to talk to Mimi out of Jacksonville, Florida. We're going to get the female perspective. I'm loving it tonight. Truemonger is on fire for sure. Oh, and don't forget, if you guys got topics, I know Truemonger, Attila, you guys sent me topics. Resend them to me so I can start working on them tonight. Okay? Send me those topics. This is a topic that's been on my mind for a long time. Not Truemonger, but Heru Ali was the first one to mention it. You know, I saw it in his chat. He would always say that's limerence or limerence, and then I started to drill down on it, and there it is. So please resend your topics. If you want me to cover them, send them now. Let's have a really fire week of topics that were contributed by you. Send me the email. Thank you, Ghetto Gourmet. Turn this mess off. What? You had a vision. My playlist is my co-host. I'm sorry, that was Mariah Carey, Vision of Love. I want you to be tapped into reality. Right? I don't want a vision. I want to be your reality. I want you to be my reality. I don't want you to date an idea, a projection, a concept of me that is fragile. When my humanity shows up and fractures the image that you have, we're done. I want somebody to accept the danger in me. And listen, when I say that, I'm not talking about domestic violence or physicality. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about getting it wrong with you. I'm talking about making mistakes. I'm talking about having human moments with you and failing. I'm talking about failing when you need me, but still being loved by you and accepted by you. That is the real thing. Not, oh, you wasn't there when I needed you in the capacity in which I needed you, so that's justification for me to no longer need you because I can't trust you. I told you trust is based on fear and production. You got to produce, and if you don't produce, then, oh my God, I wasted time. I'm sorry, y'all. Mimi, Jacksonville, get in here.
Hi, Zoe. Hi, everyone.
Hey, we're good tonight. Talk to us.
Well, the topic is, I want to make sure I got it right. Authentic love or limerence?
Limerence, that's fine. Yes.
Limerence. Thank you. Earlier in the show, you said being open, honest, vulnerable, and fearless. I believe you said those are some of the aspects of having an authentic relationship. That's where I lean. Authenticity. Authentic love. No limerence.
You the real deal.
I try to be.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, I will offer this. If you're gonna be the real deal, that means you're really in love with yourself and you've accepted yourself in totality, completely.
I'm a mess. I'm beautifully flawed.
As we all are. But can we accept the beautiful flaws in our partners if we cannot accept those beautiful flaws within self?
I try to. I mean, because
then that's the setup for I don't.
Is it?
Yeah, I try. To try is to fail. The great Yoda says, do or do not. There is no try.
Yoda from Star Wars.
That's exactly who I'm quoting right now. One of the greatest philosophers of our time, Yoda.
Okay.
She said, Yoda, the green dude from Star Wars. Absolutely, Yoda.
Yeah, I agree with that. You either do it or you don't. So I'm still a work in progress, so I try is just like being in the middle.
It's okay. It's quite all right. It is quite all right. It is quite all right. But I will say this. You brought Jacksonville, Florida in the building. I'm happy for you. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for being a part of the show, and we appreciate your insight.
Thank you.
Love, 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 love. Ladies and gentlemen, another similarity between the Matrix philosophy and limerence is the concept of reality. In the Matrix, the characters are living in a simulated reality that is created by machines. They believe that this reality is real, but in reality, it is just an illusion. In philosophy, the concept of reality is often discussed in terms of what is real and what is not. How do we know what is real? And how do we distinguish between reality and illusion? In limerence, the concept of reality is also important. When we are in a state of limerence, we may have a distorted view of reality. We may believe that our partner is perfect and that our relationship is perfect, even if that is not the case. Another similarity between the Matrix philosophy and limerence is the concept of identity. In the Matrix, the characters have a false identity that is created by the machines. They believe that they are living their lives, but in reality, they are just a part of a simulation. In philosophy, the concept of identity is discussed in terms of who we are and what makes us unique. In limerence, identity is also a significant factor. When we are in a state of limerence, we may lose our sense of identity and become completely consumed. Finally, another similarity between the Matrix philosophy and limerence is the concept of truth. In the Matrix, the characters are living in a false reality, and the truth is hidden from them. In philosophy, the concept of truth is often discussed in terms of what is true and what is false. How do we know what is true, and how do we distinguish between truth and falsehood? In limerence, the concept of truth is also important. When we are in a state of limerence, we may believe that our partner is perfect and that our relationship is perfect. Even if that is not the case, the truth may be hidden from us, and we may be blind to the reality of our situation. Right? And a lot of people don't want to see this, they don't want to hear this, they don't want to connect to this. But in conclusion, the movie The Matrix, philosophy and limerence and relationships share these similarities. These similarities include the concept of perception, control, reality, identity, and truth. While these topics may seem unrelated at first, they are all interconnected and can provide valuable insights into the human experience. By exploring these similarities, we can go deeper and understand ourselves and the world around us. We can understand ourselves better, man. That's why I want to do topics like this. I want to push the envelope. I want us to understand that love is not without pain. It's not without frustration. It's not without difficulty. But if you really have love, you have the fuel to get through the difficult moments that relationship will often throw at you. Right? How you expect to be together forever but can't stand a month of disappointment? Can't stand a month of arguing? Can't stand a couple of weeks of going back and forth and disagreeing? How you expect to be together forever? How do you expect to have all that love purports to be if you can't live with some difficulty for a while? If you can't live with that difficulty with someone you love, you're definitely not going to have the patience to live or deal with people you don't love. This is why I'm really trying to drill down on this, the relationship matrix. You are a program, a set of conditions that were produced by a sick society that told you how to judge, that told you how to evaluate, that told you how to love, or, how to act like you love. That's what this society did. It taught you how to act, how to love. It didn't tell you, it didn't teach you, it didn't show you how to be love. That's the point of this show. You're in the matrix, and the matrix is performance-based. And as long as you don't ruin the image that I've projected out to you as me, and you don't ruin the image that I've projected of you out there, we're good. Line up with the projection, fam. And we gonna be all right. No, we're not gonna be all right, because those projections are fragile. And relationship and life is designed to crack those things. You're in a relationship simulation trying to prove to your spirit that you deserve the real thing. I know you didn't hear it. I'll say it again. You're in a relationship simulation, going through situationships and relationships, trying to prove to your spirit that you deserve the real thing. Listen, I started the conversation. Y'all finish it. Up next, you already know, RSVP with Jill. She's up next. She gonna keep the fire lit, and I'll see y'all tomorrow with another heater. Good stuff tonight, y'all. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Thank you for tuning in. Love, 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 love. Appreciate everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Nothing but love, nothing but appreciation. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Monday night. Deuces.